All right. As you see, we got a lot of cover. We got a lot to cover. I'm gonna make sure we get it. But we got to get to the second version. This part is the second version of Rome. Now, this is from Article 63. And we're just going to complete the first article. And then we're going to shut it down. And we're going to return for another live, removing the cobwebs. Article 63, Holy Roman Law Form. Now we're being introduced to what is the Holy Roman law form. Canon 5823, the Holy Roman Law Form, also known as Imperial Christian Law. So now you see the first version. So now we get into Christian. So now let's get into, since the land is Christian and the land is multiverse, so the Christians could learn from this. Canon 5823, the Holy Roman Law Form, also known as the Imperial Christian Law, also known as Byzantine Law. Byzantine law is the form of sovereign territorial law, sovereign law, noble law, land law, property law, and society law. That is inclusive under this law form. Now, the Holy Roman Law Form, first formed by the British born, and we know we'll keep it as it's written, formed by British born, holy descendant Constantine. And you see the real spelling of Constantine. So in 325, if you're familiar with that timeline, 325 CE onwards, upon the creation of the new Roman imperial religion of Christianity and empire as the Basileopolis, in ancient Greek meaning holy, the cornerstone, the Holy Empire. Great understanding just beginning off. This is dealing with the imperial Christian law that was formed by Constantine, who we're going to, in quotes, British born. What's important is that he's a holy descendant. It was done in 325. And so we move to the next canon, 5824. The word business is a 16th century invention by the Venetians funded German historical assassin Hieronymus Wolff. Hieronymus Wolff, who was tasked, this is the 16th century, with creating a counterfeit history of the Holy Roman Empire called the Corpus Historiae Byzantine, published in 1557 CE. The claim that the word was the original name of the city that became the capital of Basileopolis. This is completely absurd and false. So we see now a whole corruption. Hieronymus Wolff. And we see that name, Wolff. So this is a Venetian invention funded by a German historian, to counterfeit the history of Constantine. The mix-up of the birthplace of Caesar Maximinus in Serbia with the birth of Constantine, real name Constantine, in the wealthy Domanoul trading center of Iskar, Dumona Norum, present day Exter, Exter, around 272 CE. Constantine was born crown prince of the Drumani Celtic tribe. Celtic tribe. Constantine was born from the Celtic tribe, controlling the ancient mining and land holdings of the holy Quailion kings of Ireland, of Cornwall, and Devon. If you understand where this is coming, when you go to the Sufis and understand when you see the word Holly, and you'll see this familiar when you see the Sufa called Who is Jeremiah. So when it says that the sacred symbols will return to the holy priests of the sacred island, this is the whole descendant line of what is known today in ancient terms to Moorish, to Orish, to Irish. All this is coming through where you get the modern day British. So when we coming through the ancient timeline, from Constantine up, this is where we get the understanding of what the Holy Roman Empire. So the ancient word in the past that was used for us is holy, where you get the word hallowed, and where you get the word Hollywood. Kings in ancient terms in the Irish word Quailion, Shalom. And through the Quailion, this is where we get the today word Sufian. Sufian was passed down, which is a holy descendant line, was also Jesus, Esau, Jesus, and Muhammad. So as we come into the understanding of clearing out the cobwebs due to the mix-up, this is the understanding that never been provided of Constantine. Move forward. Canon 58 and 313. Upon the announcement of the official formation of the new Roman imperial religion of Christianity, Constantine, I ordered a new official model for the government of the Roman Empire. You catch that? That was 313. The new imperial religion of Christianity, Constantine I, ordered a new official model for the government of the Roman Empire to replace SPQR that we studied in the last video. The new model as the Tetragrammaton. So if you heard of the Tetragrammaton, now you finna get to what the Tetragrammaton is. The Tetragrammaton was a symbol, a motto for known as INRI, INRI, which means Alex no. Literally, this tetragrammaton, this four-letter word, this four-letter alphabet, literally means in the holy new Roman way. This was established in 313. As we move to the next 27, in 313 CE, upon the announcement of the official formation of the new Roman imperial religion of Christianity, Constantine I abolished all forms of slavery across the empire, including, but not limited to, debt and indentured slavery. So the true Christian, which is Constantine I, who is of a Celtic origin, which is Druids, Dravid, Quaker, Constantine I of slavery, all forms of slavery. Don't the Sufian abolishes all forms of slavery? But this law has been hidden from us, and this is why you will hear that Christian and Islam was the same word. See, this was during the time of Constantine, because this is what we read, and this is the historical evidence to what has been kept hidden. So now this announcement is one of the most important acts of honor and justice to the law in civilized history, and represents for the first time that a major society or empire considered slavery a crime. Slavery a crime. So this was the first time for a major empire to abolish slavery and to have slavery as a crime. Pardon the lower self, that lower self English tongue. A canon 2:8. Also in 313 CE, Constantine introduced a new series of law. These that Constantine introduced a new series of law that represented a watershed in the restoration of equity and justice. One law for all. And this would include abolition of slavery. See, what they talking about in 1776 or 1865, Lincoln freed slaves. 1865, this is 313 in the same time period. 1865 AD, and this is, or 1865 CE, and this is 313 CE. And abolition of slavery is already done. Abolition of human sacrifice, and the abolition of Mithraism is done. All this is a abolition, the Holy Roman Empire. Holy be thy name. Holy, holy, holy. Forbiddance, and also forbiddance of compound interest was also abolished. And the privileges of clergy. No special get out of jail free card for the priesthood, for any clerical or clergy. So this was important, and this was already established and worldwide. So what we have to do is actually fiction. All law still exists. One law still exists. Now we call this one law divine law. Well, as we move forward, we got five things we want to keep in mind here. One, the new official motto, INRI, or INRI, of the empire signaled the end to the three-level system of one law. For the rich, everyone else as slaves. These the three things that was ended. Number two, the abolition of slavery meant the freedom of tens of millions of people, and to deliberate systems of perpetual slavery, rule, finances, or economic control. This was all abolished 313. We in 20. Are you not experiencing economic slavery, which is called compound interest, which was abolished by the first Christian? So when we say the true Christian, This is what is referring to as a true Christian who lives by these divine law and divine justice. So number two moves us to number three, the abolition of compound interest, the abolishing of compound interest and excessive simple interest. Excessive simple interest being unreasonable interest and setting interest fixed at 3%. Keep that in mind, y'all. 3%. This is what common day gas and added on fees, these extra simple fees. 3%. Go to your ATM, get a withdrawal other than your bank. 3%, 4%. These are called compound interest, and it's also called usury. So we're going to begin to have knowledge of self. KOS. Now these was heralded the end to hyperinflation. So this how you end hyperinflation. Right now in 2023, the population of America is experiencing hyperinflation. A cycle of up and down. Are we not? So this is the resolution. It was heralded by Constantine the First Christian, the end to hyperinflation and deliberate manipulation of the economy. Who manipulates the economy? By bankers and merchants. And what the Sufian tell you, don't let the monopoly go to the merchants and the money lenders. In the canon, the bankers and the merchants. This is true Christian teaching. So as we come and move from the third to the fourth, the abolition of human sacrifice and Mithraism saw end to state-sponsored terrorism. So terrorism is linked to Mithraism. Terrorism, put the M-I in front of you, Mithraism, terrorism, Mithraism. All this was abolished. And the five, the abolition of special privileges of the clergy ended the claims of immunity of pagan clergy for being held to account for unspeakable crimes, unspeakable abuses, and unspeakable corruption. This is how much has just went down before 313. Well, they tell you the date of 325. Look what's happening in 313. As we mosey on. Canon 58:29. In 325, there go the date. Timeline stamp in 325 CE. The new official laws and scriptures of the Holy Roman Empire were distributed across the empire through a sacred historic text called the bibliography or the Biblos. For short, incorporating the ancient scriptures of the Torah, not of Moses, who we've been taught by these false impostors that Moses brought the Torah, but no, the ancient scriptures of the Torah brought to us from Jeremiah. Jeremiah and the Gnostic and Nazarene Gospels. My community. Your we all know. We now know this is the first official and true Christian Bible. Christian Bible. This is your first true Christian Bible ever exposed by KOS, the greatest education and scholarship on the planet. proving to you the proof of the evidence. The Bible is called bibliography or biblos. And what did the biblos include? The ancient scriptures of the Torah of Jeremiah and the Gnostic and Nazarene Gospels. This was the first Christian Bible. Drop the hearts and emojis. We removing the cobwebs. Canon 5830. As ancient Greek became the official language, as ancient Greek became the official language of the Holy Roman Empire, following the banning of Latin as an official administrative land language. What you speak on the land, the language. From 325 CE. So if the first Christian text was written in ancient Greek, not the Septuaginta, we're not talking about that form of Greek. That's not ancient. We're saying ancient Greek, what the Holy Empire established by the first Constantine that was used in Latin as an official administrative language from 5 CE, said any text claiming to be officially issued by the Holy Roman Empire written in Latin from 326 onward are absurd and pathetic frauds. So they go a timeline stamp. If Latin is after 325, like as it said from 326 onward, then that is a pathetic and absurd fraud. For all that was ancient Greek. Canon 5831, let's learn more. Contrary to the revisionist claims, revising, that the concept of Christians is of Nero. Have you heard of that? Nero? All right. This come from the study and research. First century. Now, here come the truth. There is no credible, independent evidence of the word Christian being used in the Edict of Milan in 318 CE by Constantine. Bam, boom, shabaka. Bam, boom, kabaka. So we also know now that Constantine is the first Christian established. Instead, the claims of earlier deliberate removal from history deliberately, what did they remove from history? The history of the Nazarenes and the history of the Gnostics, which was in the original first Christian Bible, written by, laid down, put, finally prepared by Constantine. Both of whom followed the teachings. We're talking about the Nazarenes and the Gnostics, both of whom followed the teachings of the holy. We coming with it. And now we know that's the Moraba. The Moraba is the holy is the Moorish, the holy high crown prince named Isus, the ancient Celtic savior god who adopted man. What did he adopt? Palestine as his homeland and sought to end the dominance of Mithraism. The same thing going on in 2020 by Israel that is called Mithraism. Mithrael. Using Mithraism. Now we know by Christian texts that Jesus was a Moor, just like Constantine was a Moor. All of the holy is Moorish, from the descendant of Abraham, who was the father of all the East. Come on with it now. The children of Ham, the descendants of Ham. Now let's go Canon 5832. As imperial Christian law was introduced in part to destroy the legacy and end the age of Mithraism. This was from 326 CE onwards. All previous constitutiones, imperium pronouncements by pagan Roman emperors were rendered null and void, and the official archives ordered to be destroyed. Therefore, all claim constitutiones imperium included in false documents. Who did the false documents? By the Roman court from the 12th century onwards to 2023 is false. Or false is false. Anything created by this Roman court is false. We're going to continue on. Canon 5833. Remember the two versions of Rome. Canon 5833. Imperial Christian law from 326 CE. Not only order all previous edicts of Roman emperors to be destroyed, but all previous works by Latin jurists banned and to be replaced by the works of Gnostic jurists aligned to the ancient teachings of the holy and the Celts. Therefore, even if the alleged jurists did actually century CE all to be used. Therefore, any claim that Roman jurists works were incorporated into the founding fabric of the Holy Roman Empire is a clumsy and untenable falsity. Nothing, never, no Roman jurist had anything to do with the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire was filled with Gnostic and, as we see, Gnostic jurists. At pass of 325, you will have to be according to law. And that the first Latin is a falsity. That all of Holy Rome was written in ancient Greek. And all of the teachings of the Bibles was replaced by Mithraism. The New Testament is the Septuaginta, where the New Testament was supposed to be the Gnostic teachings, as we just put, of the holy high crown priest named Isus, after the ancient Celtic savior God. So when we understanding what teachings was removed from the ancient way, it was the teachings of the holy and the teachings of the Celts or the Celts, who were, are, and is Gnostics, which is what Sufian is. All this comes right in the timeline. See, we're talking 610, and now we in the timeline of 325 forward. So all of this of the first Constantine was a Gnostic. Christ was a Gnostic. Jesus was they say, Nazarene. We see the Nazarene was a Celtic. We see the Celtic was a holy. And we're going to find out the holy is the Irish and the Irish is the Moorish. And this is where all 10 toes touch the earth. Canon 5834. In support of Christian objectives in 391 CE, Papa, or you may say Pope, Pope Theodosius the First, ordered the destruction of all pagan temples involved in human sacrifice. Pagan temples involved in human sacrifice and Mithraic traditions. Isn't that all over the Sufian? If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the videos and watch the Sufis. That's what we call the videos over there, Sufis. They are what the canon is to Christians. So Islam was one word as Christian. If you understand the Sufis that I have been bringing, I might re-bring it again, but check out the Sufa who are the Christians. Oh, matter of fact, let's do it right now. Let's see if it's up. If I got it on my screen, we can do it. We can do it. It get done. Oh, I got it on my screen. We can get it done. See Jeremiah right there. Now look at number 10. See, who returned them to the holy priest. Now we learn the sacred island. The sacred island is Elephantine Island. And you see Jeremiah brought the Torah. Well, we know now the Torah was the law of Allah. Now, let's keep going. And let's get to where Islam and Christian is the same word. Let's go. Number 7. To live with the same honor and virtue of the way of Islam. Number 8. That one might use the word Islam or Christian as one and the same. Praise be. Praise be to Allah, right? There go the proof right there. Islam and Christian was one used as the same word. So when we say Constantine was a Christian, Constantine was Islam. The Holy Roman Empire, Islam. Non-holy is non-Islam or non-Christian, which we call pagan. Pagans are those involved in human sacrifice and Mithraic traditions. Now we're finna get real clear now. Stay with me. Due to the supporters of Patriarch Theophilus of Alexandria, the great library of Alexandria was badly damaged. The library was badly damaged. And all this done in the time of the canon. That was canon 5834. Canon 5835 on August 1st, 520 CE, upon the ancient feast day of Lucifer, Papa or Pope Justinian ordered an invasion of Samaria. Samaria is also known as Israel. And the edict that to be a Samaritan and follower of the Manasseh was a capital crime. Now, who we knew the Samaritans was the Israel until you get ancient history recorded, documented, and now restoring our minds. 58:36 as an attempt to eliminate Mithraism, as an attempt to eliminate human sacrifice, as an attempt to eliminate the influence of evil. Pope Justinian ordered the completion of a new comprehensive body of law, in ancient Greek known as the Pandectus. In ancient Greek, meaning all encompassing encyclopedia, promulgated in 529 BCE. We see we working our way to 610. So canon 5837 in 532 CE, having crushed the Samaritans, Pope Justinian, Pope Justinian ordered the closure and destruction of all temples to the Phrygian goddess. You'll get the moon goddess, the Phrygian goddess, otherwise known as Cybele, Sybil, Athena, Athens, Athena, and Mary, Queen of Heaven. See, all these terms that we thought is representing the one law is not. This is practicing Mithraism. All right. Despite massive riots throughout the empire, including Constantinople, later falsely wrote race fans. See how they see what the Roman code do? See what the Roman spell do by the Roman code? Canon 5838. In the 16th century, the Jesuits, the first version or the first video of version of Rome, the Jesuits created a terrible fraud in Latin. Now this sped up to the 16th century. So we know 1500,